Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by Gully Powar, the 6-0 Super Bantamweight prospect. Gully, how are you today, mate?
I'm all right, man. Just want to say a massive thank you for having me on your platform and, raising my profile in the sport of boxing. I'm going to be talking about next Saturday and what's going to happen. Ready to make a huge statement and put my name out there on one of the biggest platforms in the world in boxing. So, yeah, I'm ready to talk about my journey.
Definitely, mate. Well, no worries at all. Thank you for giving me your time today to speak to you on the channel. It's great to have you on. Like you mentioned there, fighting on November the 18th, Adam Azim's undercard, obviously. I bet you're excited to fight on the big stage for your seventh pro fight.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, I'm only 21 years old and, getting this opportunity at a young age and showcasing my skills to everybody. I'm like the dark horse, So like not a lot of many people know about me, but I'm raising my profile because of my style. I'm relentless and I've got a very unique style as well. So when people see my style, they're gonna automatically just connect to it and say, yeah, this guy's a real deal. But yeah, I just can't wait to showcase my skills to everybody. It's a great platform to be on, especially in my home city of Wolverhampton. I've sold a lot of tickets for this show, and it's just been amazing. It's just been an amazing camp. My team's been with me, my family's been with me, and we're just gonna keep rising. We're gonna keep winning, and hopefully we get major title fights in the near future. And if we can get it on a bigger platform, that'd be even better.
Definitely, mate. Well, we look forward to seeing it. Obviously, you mentioned your all action style there. Is that what the fans can expect on November the 18th?
They're gonna see relentless performances. That's why they call me relentless, man, because I feel like everyone that's seen me fight from the amateur days all the way to now, I've always had the similar type of style, but I've just polished it up for the pro game. I'm always working on new things. I always watch the great old champions from the old school to new school. I'm always creating new attributes and, just putting it to my style. All the great fighters, what they used to do, get little attributes, put it into my style, and we just that makes the gully. That's what makes relentless. So I know there's a lot of fighters out there with a lot of relentless, attributes, but the way I fight, I throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of good combinations. I've got good defense. I've got every attribute, and I'm still not at my best yet. But I'm ready to. I'm always improving, staying humble, improving. Just staying focused, staying grounded. And I'm always never overlooking any fight. It doesn't matter about records. So I just can't wait. At the moment, we still haven't got an opponent. We did, but obviously politics or things change. So I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, next Saturday it's gonna be amazing. Can't wait for the media week as well. Gonna be talking a lot, talking a lot about my what I'm gonna do on Saturday, and then Saturday I'm gonna show everybody why I'm the truth as well.
Definitely, mate. We look forward to seeing it as well. You mentioned kind of you're a student of the game. You watch all the old fighters and new fighters, all the champions. But who's one fighter who you say you've watched the most, you've studied the most, you kind of like? I don't want to say emulate. Everyone has their own style, but who's one fighter you kind of like to add to your game the most?
I like Canelo Alvarez, to be honest. I think I like the younger version of Canelo when he was at the lower weights because he used to throw a lot of combinations and he was relentless as well. Very smart, you know what I mean? He used to look at everyone's body language when he was, he still does now, but obviously as you get all to the higher weights, the work rate slows down. But I love his body shots. The left hook to the body is major, and that literally I feel like when he hits fighters, it literally just absorbs, into their body. And it's like, I've always watched him. I've watched him fight Liam-Smith, and Liam-Smith gave him a great fight as well. At that point, that was probably, I would say, not, wouldn't say his hardest fight, but one of his hardest fights because Liam-Smith came to fight. And that fight was amazing. I always watched that. And, yeah, he's the one fighter I've always watched, but I also watch other great champions like Roberto Duran. He's definitely my favorite old school fighter, Salvador Sanchez, Wilfredo Gomez. There's another fighter that not many people know about, Alfonso Zamora, who was a featherweight champion at the time. I look deep into the roots of boxing, you know what I mean? There's a Juan Laporte, like all these fighters were like fighters that don't get enough credit, like fight anybody type of mentality. They used to get in the ring, do the business, come out, but they don't get remembered. So I go deeper into the roots of boxing, look into the fighters that you know, just every fighter, just watch them, even the ones that might have had a record of 21 wins and 7 losses. It doesn't matter. These fighters had great attributes, man. You know what I mean? You learn little things, the body shots, combination punching, you know what I mean, space, the timing, and yeah. But Canelo is the main man for me.
Definitely. I'm glad you mentioned, obviously, when you mentioned the body shots, that the first fight I was thought of was that Liam-Smith fight. And feel like the way Liam-Smith's gone about the rest of his career since that fight, the win has aged incredibly well. And it's such a great win on Canelo Alvarez's resume as well. I do want to touch on some of the sparring that you've been doing previously. The two main names I saw Liam Davies and Adam Azim, and I mean Adam Azim's obviously headlining the show that you're fighting on next week, and then Liam Davies. I mean, I was speaking to Tyler Denny earlier today, and Tyler Denny was saying because he trains with him, he forgets how good Liam Davies is and how highly he should be ranked as well. But how were those two sparring sessions, especially with Liam Davies, who's captured every title bar the world title as well at the moment?
Yeah, so when I sparred Adam Azim, that was before my championships. That was I think 2022 April. I did a couple of rounds of him. Very sharp, very sharp. You know what I mean? Probably the quickest hands I've ever had to deal with. You know, I had to think a lot more as well because normally with my relentless style, I can normally pin people on the ropes. But Adam Azim was like one of them fighters that is always thinking. You could see he's always thinking. So I had to do the same thing. But yeah, those great rounds. And yeah, I sparred Liam Davis a couple of times in the past. Obviously, he's in the same weight division as me. He's captured all the titles. But yeah, another sharp spar as well. I've been sparring top opposition for a long time. I've sparred Brad Foster. I've sparred James Beat Jr. I've sparred a lot of top fighters. Kane Baker as well. You know what I mean? So I sparred a lot of fighters. But yeah, them two names definitely good fighters, great fighters. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I what Liam Davis has is what I want. You know what I mean? That's my aim. I want to show something completely different and unique. You know what I mean with my style and stuff. So yeah, man, fair play to all of them, man. Adam Azim, he's one hell of a fighter, and you know I've been watching him for a while since the amateur days. He's in the same championships as me, just slick with it. But yeah, man.
No, definitely. I feel like Adam Azim, if there's one fighter that's risen to such a fame in such a short period of time, it is Adam Azim, and he's deserved it with highlight reel knockouts and then great performances as well. I do want to touch on, obviously you mentioned titles there. Obviously Liam Davies has got what you want. There's one title that Liam Davies has surpassed, which is the English title. Zahid Hussain has that title now. I read an article that's one title that you'd like to get sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I want that fight as soon as possible. Yeah, that's my aim. I want the English title, but if anything comes in my way, any of the titles at the IBO, say for example, or anything like that, I'll take it with a heartbeat because I think I'm ready for it. I spar up to 10 to 15 rounds of sparring all the time. My engine is next level. That's why they call me like relentless because it's not just relentless doesn't just mean one thing, it means a lot of things. So not just about throwing a lot of punches, about relentless engine. I jog 7 miles every morning anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm always fit and healthy. I'm always on weight. I'm like Floyd Mayweather in that sense, always waking up early in the mornings doing jogs. You know, I'm the type of guy that will do 2 jogs in one day if I feel like it. You know what I mean? But yeah, literally, I just stay grounded. But yeah, that's the title I want. If whoever, I don't know when they're fighting Zahid Hussain and Andre Grant, whenever they fight, and you know, whoever wins, I want the winner out of them two. Hopefully, I become mandatory, or we can get the fight sorted out ASAP, man. And you know, I'm ready for it.
Definitely. Well, we look forward to seeing that one, mate, as well. Do want to touch on something that I find really important, and I always want to highlight it. In interviews is when the rise of certain communities in boxing that maybe sometimes are underappreciated in some capacities, obviously. But at the moment, the rise of Sikh boxing is rising more and more every single day. You've got yourself, you've got Dylan Chima, Inda Bassi's just picked up the southern area as well. I mean, it must be a very exciting time for Sikh boxing and kind of that you're kind of putting Sikh boxing on the map as well.
Yeah, it's great. It's you know the names you mentioned, we're all role models. You know what I mean, and we're inspiring the next generation of Sikh athletes coming forward, and not just the Sikh athletes. I'm talking about anybody, any race, doesn't matter who you are. But yeah, it's definitely rising now. There's a lot more Sikh athletes coming into boxing, a lot more, you know, Sikh fighters coming up from the amateurs, and it's great to see. You know what I mean? It's great to see that we are inspiring the next generation to come up and follow our footsteps, maybe, or just follow their own path. Because at the end of the day, in the sport of boxing, it's a very diverse sport, which is amazing. But especially, we never really had any Sikh fighters in the past. You know what I mean? There's only one fight that I remember that was probably like in the 90s or 80s. I think it was Harry Dami. He won the British title a while back. I think it was. I think I don't know when it was, but yeah. But after that, there's obviously been, you got Indabati doing his thing. You got Dylan Chima doing his thing, and but obviously me and Dylan Chima on the same card, and it's rising. It's all coming together, and yeah, it's great for the community. But I'm here to inspire everybody as well. You know what I mean? I'm here to inspire any young person that's struggling, whatever. I hope they see my videos and I inspire them listening to this as well. You know what I mean? Like just the motivation, because obviously I know how it feels to struggle and come from nothing. So I push forward and, keep going. And where I've come from to where I am now, it's just a clear message to everyone to say, you know what, never give up and keep pushing on.
Definitely, and you couldn't have put it better there, Gully. And also, and like you said about boxing, it is in my opinion, the most inclusive sport on the planet. I feel like everyone. I've spent a lot of time in the One Nation gym in Derby, and anyone who's everyone, no matter what community you're from, everyone is there, and it just shows how inclusive boxing can be. My final question to you, Gully. Thank you again for giving me your time today. We ask everyone this, from Eddie Hearn to Nigel Benn to yourself. What does boxing mean to you?
Boxing is everything to me. It's my heart, my soul, it's everything. It's literally boxing for me is like 99.999% of my life, literally. I literally just stay isolated. I visualize everything. I believe in myself. You know what I mean? I feel like I've got a strong desire to go all the way in the sport of boxing. I know a lot of fighters say it, but some fighters don't mean it. You know what I mean? And I really mean it. That's why I keep working. That's why I believe in myself. And I'm not a fighter that ducks fights either. I've always sparred all the best fighters. I sparred heavier weights, lower weights, doesn't matter who you are. I've always sparred top opposition. And yeah, but I'm the people's champion. I'm not cocky or anything like that. Like I don't really have that persona, but like, I want to support the next generation as much as myself. That's something I've always wanted to do because I used to work in schools and stuff as well with an organization. So I used to help young people that was on the streets and stuff rise up and, give them some advice from myself and maybe plant the seed. And that's something I definitely want to do. But I've always had this self belief in myself as well, like to keep pushing forward and keep striking for my goals. And I've beat the odds every time. I've always been doubted. And I'm just one of them people that just never give up, man. I can't give up. I'll have everyone's human beings, you know what I mean? Like we all feel like giving up sometimes, but it's that one thing in my heart that says, no, you gotta keep pushing now, just keep pushing. And I believe I could be the youngest British champion. Like I believe that things like this, and a lot of people say it's delusion, but I say it's confidence, not ego, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep striving for greatness and I'm gonna keep pushing forward. And you see Shakur Stevenson, you see Devin Haney, these guys won undisputed titles at the age of 23, 24, Teofimo Lopez. So what's the difference? Why can't I do it? That's my mindset, you know what I mean? I look at them great champions and think they're doing it at 23, 22. Why can't I win a world title by 23? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep going, man. And I feel like I've done a lot of interviews and I've spoke about where I want to be, and I think I'm definitely will be one of the top guys at one point in my career. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter when it's going to happen. I'm going to keep rising to the occasion and keep going.
Definitely. Well, Gully, that was one of the best answers to that question we've ever had, mate. Thank you very much again for giving me your time today, and best of luck on November the 18th.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.